you had it like up to here with your lawn? Believe it or not, this is unbelievable, but the average lawn requires 48 inches of water in California. Now, just imagine like a 4-foot slab of water covering your whole lawn, and that's how much water you're using. In fact, 2 years, it's like 9 feet. Well, no, we don't have to demonstrate it. 2 years is like 9 feet. Okay, pull a plug, please. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to show you a gorgeous, beautiful lawn that, well, it doesn't need any of that stuff. In fact, about the only thing it does need is the leaf blower. The watering, forget about it. It's called onelawn, and it really is, well, it's an improvement on your typical lawn. So that's one of the reasons that we really believe in lawns like this. The other thing is the kind of places you can use it in, where it's so much more sensible than using one of those, well, like the non-native lawns, you know, the kind that are brought in from elsewhere that look perfect, but only at an expense.
Very difficult to keep lawns going in areas like hillsides, shady areas, or even something as simple as a vacation home where you don't have to worry about getting up to the vacation home to maintain the yard. Houseboats, rooftop decks are a great application to bring a natural landscape feel, you know, to a rooftop or a houseboat. It's a great application.
Okay, so let's talk about onelawn. Obviously, drainage is going to be an issue here.
Absolutely. One of the great advantages that I don't think is talked about enough is the fact that this product will drain 400 inches an hour. You'd have to bring Noah back.
Bring Noah, yeah.
Exactly. 400 inches an hour. So for sure will drain better than a natural sod or quasi-natural sod lawn. We use a 100% crushed granite as a substrate that after we excavate the dirt out.
Right.
And then we are going to compact that and put our grass on top of that. So from a drainage perspective, our backing is a natural backing, 100% recyclable, and the water will drain right through it. You don't have to worry about weep holes being placed periodically throughout. The entire backing is 100% permeable.
So important keys here are the see, I would never think to ask about what the undersurface is, but that's
very
important.
critical.
It's not going to be the same
of
for everybody, right?
Okay. No, correct.
And then second of all, you want to talk about the density. You want to find out what the density is.
Yeah, you want rich, thick products that really simulate a good natural lawn.
And the backing.
The backing's imperative to keep the blade in place. It's imperative to have a permeable membrane that's recyclable as well. So we're only using natural recyclable products. And the drainage is one of those added benefits that people don't talk about. It could rain for an hour. You could come out about 10 minutes later and your kids could play on the lawn. It would be dry and there'd be no mud.
What?
Your dogs are not going to be tracking mud. Your kids are not going to be getting grass stains on their pants. And there will be, you can actually play an hour after the rain.
Excuse me. Bad news, kids. No mud. So it's onelawn.com for more information, or better yet, give them a call, 800-616-3000 for a no-obligation consultation. Now, when you mention Bay Area Bargains, Green Edition, they've got a special deal for you, okay? So they actually will cover what is going to be your water bills for the coming year once you put this lawn in. They'll give you $600. That should, in almost all cases, cover a full year of your water bills, okay? In addition, Maestro, thank you. They will throw in a free leaf blower because, to be perfectly honest, it's the only thing you're going to need to maintain your lawn. You've got a lot of experience with lawns, I guess.
Both real and synthetic, yes.
So what's the history?
Well, the history is I've had the house about 20 years, and this will be my 5th lawn installation, and hopefully my last. So this is Marin. We have water rationing, we have erratic rainfall, and I have dogs. So I have had lawns look like this for about 3 weeks, and then it's gone downhill rapidly after that.
So that's the problem with some of
water,
the artificial lawns.
dogs.
Yeah.
It's just I just can't do the real lawns. Now I did do a synthetic lawn 2.5 years ago from another company. It was best in class at that time. It's now been demoted. I thought it was fabulous at the time, but it was an infill lawn. And so when I made the decision I had to replace this lawn, I knew I didn't want to do infill.
The infill is the stuff, the sand or the
it's a little
whatever
black,
material.
Rubbery pellet thing.
It makes the lawn stand up if there's there's not a lot of density.
Correct,
in the
and it's
lawn.
it's really what holds the blades in place.
Right.
The problem is it gets windy and it rains occasionally, and the wind is blown. What the rain didn't wash away, the wind blew away. So it still looks better, quite honestly, than a real lawn would have done, but. This, when I saw the samples, I thought was fabulous. And this is a very large area. I can see it from all the rooms in the house. It looks real. Even when it's a little shiny at installation, it kind of looks like the morning dew. I'm in marketing. So
very good at
I think it looks like the morning dew. It has 2 levels of blade. It looks quite realistic. They've done more than one color. If you look at it on a close-up, you'll see it actually looks like some thatching underneath. Yeah. The reason I'm doing synthetic is it will never need watering again, it will never need herbicide, it won't need pesticide, and should you have dogs who apparently have to do bowel movements, it's really easy to clean up. So I thought about where we were going. We're going to end up on water rationing at some point, it's a given. Yep. And I just didn't want it, so I'm English, I wanted a green lawn.
So what's your thinking on the general balance here?
I think it's a win-win. I mean, as I say, if you want to have a green lawn in Marin County or most of Northern California, this is not natural. And so you end up having to use a lot of fertilizer, a lot of herbicides. If you start getting bugs, you have to use pesticides. So none of that will ever happen again. The amount of water that I was using for a green lawn, it seemed a little unethical almost to be using that much water for a lawn. So I can now use it for dahlias and roses and other things. But I think it is a win-win. It would take a lot to convince me at this juncture that a real lawn was superior to a high-quality synthetic lawn.
One of the things about these artificial lawns is that they now look so realistic. Yes. And if you look here, you'll see it's because they don't look as perfect as they used to in the early days.
Well, what we try to do is, again, come up with a material that's densely populated with grass blades, not sparsely and then backfilled with rubber and sand, but something that actually looks and feels lush and rich like a natural lawn. And there's a thatch layer that rides below the grass that helps it to bloom. Right. In this case, we have a brown thatch that gives it that more natural look of a lawn. And two different colors.
I don't know if you can see this at home, but this does look different.
Yeah, this has a lighter spring green for people that like a brighter colored lawn. This has a more olive color. And then over here, we have one with the green thatch instead of the brown thatch, more of a bluegrass sort of look.
See what I see. So that little thin
little thatching is green
bottom.
on green versus the brown thatching. Okay. And again, different strokes for different folks. We try to carry a variety that will appeal to the groups.
Okay, and then there's the ultra short version.
Yes, we offer a great line of putting greens, both in a what we call kind of the over 10 handicap putting green for most folks. And then if you're a pro golfer, you're under a 10 handicap, we have a green that really will hold the ball if you chip onto it like a natural green on a pro golf course.
Okay, now
the substrate's often overlooked, and I think it's an important aspect.
That's because it's under
you can't see it.
You can't overlook
This is what's typically used in the marketplace, an inexpensive road base, and then it's topped with a decomposing granite. And what we use is 100% crushed granite that creates a much smoother substrate.
Now this is not decomposing.
No, it's not. This is actual just real granite that's crushed versus decomposing, so it won't change in its shape. It'll stay in a perfect compaction. So what we do is we actually have a landscape architect on staff, and we run all of our projects through the landscape architect to make sure that we are designing the lawn with the very best output we can. We try to combine high technology with great craftsmanship, and then you combine that with kind of an old world service where the customer is the boss, and I think we have a winning combination.
You were not a big fan of this idea of putting
I was skeptical about artificial lawn based on past experience.
Yeah, and the verdict is?
Very surprised. It looks real, it feels real, the colors are very good, and I can't tell you how surprised I was when it was put in here.
Looks pretty good. Bear looks pretty happy about it. Thank you. And then finally, yes, ladies, I'd like to present you with this leaf blower.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
The only tool that you will need
Ready to go.
On behalf of the management. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bear, thank you very much for joining us. And thank you all very much for joining us on Bay Area Bargains Green Edition.